You're making an accusation of lying based on your own intuition. You're making a serious accusation to a private company, to a major Chinese corporation, which of course has links to the Chinese government, because we know Chinese government companies do.
There is no such thing as any private company in China. That isn't how it works. I'm very concerned. I mean, take potholes, for example, another massive area for local government.
Nigel Farage just humiliated Laura Kuenssberg so badly. The BBC might as well rename their Wi-Fi to censorship. In a clash no one saw coming, Farage dismantled her with his usual mix of sharp facts and that smug confidence he's known for. She tried to hold her ground, but Farage had her completely rattled. And the best part? You won't believe how it ended. Get ready for a level of political shade you've never witnessed before.
What is your evidence that they have been lying about the figures? And you say lying about everything. What's your actual evidence for that?
Well, you can call it intuition if you like, but why do you think that yesterday morning the trade unions acted to stop the Chinese officials even getting their cars into the plant because they feared industrial sabotage?
First things first, hit that subscribe button and a heads up to you. Don't say I didn't. Okay, just get on with it already. Nigel Farage didn't beat Laura Kuenssberg in his battle. He annihilated her. It was never even close to being a contest. It was not a war of truth. It was just wrecking. Farage's message was, if you were not on his ticket, then you were already beaten. It was a slow-motion wreckage, horrifically nauseating, but you couldn't avoid watching. And the best bit is that Farage didn't even have to exert himself very much. He just sat back, looking completely nonchalant, while Kuenssberg talked herself into a coma by mistake. This was not an interview, a workshop on how to deal with a media personality who was off the rails and had no clue what was happening with her.
People here we've spoken to this afternoon, though, seem to be coming to you because they're very angry. They're very angry about the state of the country. Do you think that's what it's about?
As they should be. As they should be. You know, the reopening of the debate around well, they call it the grooming gang scandal, but it's not, it's the mass rape scandal. I just think people ask themselves, what has happened to our country?
Farage is a political heavyweight, whether you admire him or can't stand him. And if you're going to challenge him, you'd better come prepared with more than a flimsy script and a couple of weak shots. As for Kuenssberg, let's just say she showed up to a heavyweight match holding a plastic toy. Farage saw right through her attempt to put him on the spot and effortlessly made her look out of her depth in front of millions. This is what he does. He's a seasoned pro, a debate tactician who performs best under pressure. Kuenssberg, on the other hand, looked completely outmatched.
Possibly have happened? Why did everybody want to cover it up? Why has there been no full public inquiry? People are angry about that, yes, and they're right to be. Absolutely right to be.
Most impressive was how completely composed Farage remained, even as Kuenssberg struggled to push the interview into dangerous territory. The veteran interviewer, usually assured and self-assured, suddenly appeared at a loss the moment she met a man who was not going to play by the traditional political rulebook. Rather than challenging him with blunt facts, she used emotional cues, as if challenging him would somehow put her in control. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Farage dismissed her like an irritating fly, coolly deconstructing her wilted arguments, without so much as batting an eye. Watching Kuenssberg trying to land a blow was like watching a puppy try and topple over a lion, except that puppy did not even know which game she was playing. No discourtesy to the puppy, naturally.
They're also angry economically. We are getting poorer. You know, if you look at the last 8 quarters, GDP per capita is falling in 6 of them. And it coincides with a period of record net legal migration. Mass immigration not only makes it tough for young people to get a house, not only makes it very difficult to see a GP, not only makes our roads and infrastructure struggle to cope, it's making us poorer.
Most impressive was how completely unflappable Farage remained, even when Kuenssberg did her best to take the interview down dangerous avenues. The seasoned interviewer, usually confident and self-assured, looked suddenly lost the moment she encountered someone who was not going to play by the usual political rulebook. Rather than confronting him with biting observations, she leaned on emotional shoves, as if trying to get a rise out of him would somehow put her in the driver's seat. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Farage brushed her aside like a nuisance fly, dismantling her tired arguments calmly, without even a blink. It was as if watching Kuenssberg try to land a blow and witnessing a puppy try to take down a lion. Except this puppy did not even know what game it was playing. No slight to the puppy, naturally.
No question about that. 2025 was about getting that machine actually working, to start to win some victories. Our ultimate goal, and I'm not joking, is to win the next general election.
You say you've done it with nothing. You have had a very useful thing, the support and the oxygen of the support from someone who's on his way back to the White House, and Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, who just happens to also own one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. Now, you mentioned there people's anger over the...
We've all seen the classic gotcha question. A journalist tries to trip up their guest. But with Nigel Farage, the trap always snaps back. Laura Kuenssberg tried to corner him. He didn't flinch. He smiled, fired back with facts, and left her scrambling. In high-stakes interviews, you either come prepared or get steamrolled. Kuenssberg? Totally outmatched. Farage didn't just answer. He controlled the room. He didn't show up like a regular politician. He came in like someone who spent decades dismantling media narratives. Kuenssberg thought she'd expose him. Instead, she got exposed. When she brought up Elon Musk, Farage didn't get defensive. He pivoted. Do you believe in free speech or not? He reframed the debate and reminded viewers how censorship flourished before Musk took over Twitter. Every time Kuenssberg tried to throw him off, he turned the tables. She wasn't leading the interview. She was a prop in his performance. On British Steel, she tried to pin him on past positions. Farage turned it around, blaming the Conservatives for selling off a strategic industry to foreign powers. Another miss. Even on Brexit and tariffs, he didn't blink. He argued that Britain can now strike better deals, citing Trump's support. Kuenssberg got lost in the details. Farage pushed the bigger message. That's his strength, turning interviews into theater. He's not chasing policy nuance. He's creating headlines. And it works. Controversy keeps him in the spotlight. BBC Verify tried to fact-check him on taxes and farming. Farage dismissed it, pointing out the independent expert was a labor donor. Just like that, the fact-check became another Farage moment. His strategy? Disrupt, dominate, distract. He doesn't need to win debates. He just needs to own the moment. And in that studio, Farage owned it.